Hello, my friends, once again, the brass tacks coming at you hot with a reality check you can only get here at Dillon in the Details. Yes, indeed, folks. You know what? People say, oh, Xbox has no games. Well, today we're going to prove them wrong right here and right now. You say Xbox has no games. Well, I mean, let's get down to it. Do you mean exclusives? Because if you mean exclusives, that doesn't exist anymore. All the PlayStation 5 games are eventually coming to PC. And with these director's cuts and remasters, well, Snowy's just got a lot of spending to do, so we're just gonna skip the nonsense and get right down to it. First Game Pass game on the list here that I'm looking at is called Haven. It's an odd one. You're just kind of flying across pastures. Cool graphics, kind of like almost an anime style slash cell shaded style. There's first person mechanics where you're just floating around as some strange entity, which is just fine. It's cool. Nonetheless, moving the wheels on the subject, I consider Haven to be very interesting as a game. I've already talked about Sea of Thieves, so I'm not going to get too into it, but I do intend to try a little bit more of it, see if it's indeed a good, experience. I have no idea if it's completely good through and through. I played one mode for several hours and it was enjoyable. And do I suggest it? I don't know. Seems a lot of people like to play it with their friends instead of actually playing it alone, which I like to play it alone, so I don't know. I don't know if I suggest it. It's a 50-50 one, so maybe we'll talk about that again some other time, but you guys already know what Tetris is, but Tetris Effect is actually a really cool, rhythmic kind of Tetris experience. It's different. It feels good in the controller. It feels good hearing it come out of the screen as long as, you have a feasible kind of audio setup, or at least, some kind of something going on. Nonetheless, if you got speakers and a controller that's actually functioning, I personally think Tetris Effect Connected is sick. I've tried it alone. I intend to play it with other people at some point. But nonetheless, great experience. Very tantalizing, I'd say. We Happy Few, I haven't played it very much. I've actually played it 0% on this console. But when I played it on the Xbox One, I felt like it was just not living up to my expectations. It was supposed to be procedurally generated this, that, and the third, and it just is not. So whatever it is, maybe I'll give it a try some other time, but for now, it's going to just sit there while I play games like Empire of Sin. I've talked about this one pretty extensively, I believe, on stream, but to be honest, Empire of Sin is the game I put the most hours into, as of late, at least. It's an incredible, fun experience. I'm not going to sell it to you and say it's amazing and the animations look fucking fantastic, because believe me, they don't. It is pretty clunky, it is pretty awkward, it is odd. But Empire of Sin feels like you're running some type of criminal organization. You're running this kind of like racket, and it's gangsters and the mob in the 20s. And it's just interesting. It's interesting how things go. The combat is like XCOM, which I really don't like. But for some reason in this, the combat just, it works. I don't get too bored of it. I mean, eventually it does wear, but it's a game I can just come back to over and over again. And speaking of games I can come back to over and over again, Neon Abyss is a great roguelike shooter. You jump around, you fire your gun, you do your thing. It's pretty fucking rad. And you get power-ups along the way. It's like any roguelike, if you know what that is. Although the graphics of Neon Abyss aren't really all that to shake your fist about, this is actually a pretty rad game nonetheless. If graphics aren't important to you, I suggest giving this game a try, at minimum. It's challenging, just to the right level. Like, it's the perfect level of challenging. And for the final game we have on Game Pass currently, Limbo. It's an incredible damn experience, and if you like challenging games, now that's where I'd go, man. It's not super challenging, it's not going to hurt your brain or anything, but it will get a little rough at times. I believe I've beaten it, but nonetheless, I'm going to give it another go and see what happens, because I need a refresher on Limbo. Limbo's so incredible, they don't even give themselves credit here. I just started the game, and there's no sign of any introduction to their company or trying to sell you a different product. This is a great company of great people, and I wish I knew who they were. I'll have to look into it, of course, after this video, but nonetheless, Limbo, great game, but Inside is on a different level. I'd love to talk about that sometime. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by, getting down to those brass tacks. Let's do this again, because I think Game Pass has a lot of potential, and if people don't start talking about it a little bit more, well, people won't wake up. Because it is the best deal in gaming, and I just showed that I am getting a great experience out of it. And if you want to argue about it, you know where to go, the comment section, buddy. We'll hash it out. We'll talk it out, but nonetheless, until next time, ta-ta.